One, and we're live.
All right, there we go.
Welcome everybody to tonight's episode of the Grimm Tales of Grimm, Chapter 2.
AKA what we like to call it here in the DM corner, Critical Role Part 2.
Definitely not, but
I'm leaving.
I'm here with, of course, my favorite. I'm not even in charge of the channel. Riley, you do the introductions.
I wasn't prepared for this. Okay, so I'm the DM, GM, whatever you want to call me. I'll be doing the story today. And this is our player Grimm, aka Ben. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ben. I play Grimm.
All right, that's good enough. And for the
All right.
commentators, we have Ron and Cameron. One of which is a current player and also level 1er. The other is a
first to level 1.
Yes, the next is a future player.
That would be me.
So, would you guys like to introduce yourselves real quick?
Take it away, Ron.
Cameron, you can go first. Most people know me at this point.
Right. I am Cameron. You know me as future player, and that's all you need to know for now. So
When's your session tomorrow?
9-ish.
Everybody should be on that.
Yes, get on that, boys.
Be there at 9-ish exactly. Yep.
I'm Ronnie. A lot of you know me as the guy who plays Lilro. For those of you who don't know, you should definitely go to lotsofbugs YouTube channel and watch my sessions.
Yes. Okay, so before we begin, Grimm or Ben, would you like to recap our last session?
Yeah. So last session, we followed the adventures. Not really adventure, just kind of the
normal tales of normal Grimm.
Yeah, the normal tales of just regular little boy Grimm. We saw him. We didn't see him be born, of course, but we saw him put a scorpion in his mouth, which is pretty cool. He got to sneak in the fields with his uncle. And actually, some of you may have already seen this. It's called Star Wars: A New Hope.
When Riley was explaining what happened in your first session, I was like, Riley, you realize this is A New Hope, right?
Yeah, it was unintentional. So yeah. Anyways, basically, I got really close with my cousin, which I'll explain later. And
I was meaning to ask about that.
I'll get to it in 1 second. Okay. I'm recapping.
Then it's Nabia, not Alabama.
Okay. Bro, we just lost all of our Alabama viewers, dude. I can't believe
Sorry to all the Alabama viewers.
5 viewers goes to 0.
Sorry, Sprite 945. I know you have a thing for your cousins, but
anyways, so yeah, me and my cousin got pretty close. We were good friends. I got invited with her friend group, of course. And we were hanging out. I got a bit older. I believe I turned like 13 years old, and I got to go to the city of Nabia for the first time. You know, I was swindling people. I'm a master salesman at 13 years old. You know, I was introduced to Lil Ro, which was Ronnie's character. Did not really know it was him though. And then after I went to the city, I convinced my cousin to sneak out. So we snuck out to the city, and basically met her stupid ex-boyfriend, who's just a piece of poopy whoopy. And he made me drink pee-pee and alcohol as a little kid. Luckily, though, since that scorpion was in my mouth, that gave me like some pretty good alcohol tolerance. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Uncle found out.
As you can see, this is a very realistic campaign.
Yes.
Eating a scorpion as a child gives you alcohol tolerance.
Do it.
No, don't do it. We don't condone this.
Anyways, got in trouble. Uncle big mad. He was like, yeah, you know what? You're just going to work for the rest of your life on my freaking farm. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm doing it. I'm not even getting paid for this crap, by the way. I just want to make you guys know, or let you guys know. But we basically, you know, I'm 17 now. I almost plugged in my out. I'm having an aneurysm. I almost unplugged my headset. Anyways, where was I at? Hello?
Ben, do you have any idea what you were talking about for the past
Yo,
5 minutes?
Guys, what are we doing? Why is this camera here? Anyways, what am I doing?
Did you think back to what you were just talking about 5 seconds ago?
Okay. I was like,
anyways, your sister got taken away, right?
Yeah, my cousin.
His
My
cousin.
Cousin.
They're not siblings.
Cousin.
This isn't Kentucky.
Your girlfriend.
They sent the scorpions to
Ooh.
the chapel. No, not the scorpions. They sent the my cousin to like egg chapel where like I didn't even get to say goodbye to her. That piece of crap, whatever. So I'm 17 years old. I go to the city to make a sell. I'm told to upcharge. I don't. And I sell my supplies for 215 gold plus 2 potions, which I know nothing about. So I'm gonna check on that. And then I got to say hi to my cousin, which brings us to this little issue that I did not know I created.
Cameron brought this up to our attention.
Here's the thing. As a viewer, okay, I don't know what's going on in your head. So all I hear is, by the way, you've already made slight nods to it in your past, but here's when it comes to like the biggest hint towards it. You go, I don't know if you have a boyfriend or anything, but if you want to get a place together, that'd be cool. And then she tells you, I took a vow of celibacy, and you're like, who's that? So,
Ben. No.
Okay, so all right. When asking her, like, first of all, I was like asking, hey, is there room at the chapel I could live at theoretically for free? Well, I should have just asked that instead of just trying to use big words, because this is what happens to me. I'm screwed.
You accidentally
no, you're screwed. That's the problem.
So when I asked if she had a boyfriend or husband or whatever, I was referring to, I didn't know if she was living with someone at the time or at the current moment. I'm recording right now. What? Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. Isaac just walked in.
Yeah, when is Isaac's session, by the way?
Apparently he quit. We're not going to talk about that though.
What the heck?
Anyways, when I was asking if like she had a boyfriend or husband, I didn't know if she was living with someone at the time, and then I didn't want to like be a loner and like, yeah, let me crash with you and your husband, and then be like there. So I was not asking if I could hanky-panky with my cousin.
That's what it sounded like.
It sounded a lot like that.
Because, I mean, another thing that kind of tipped me was that you were constantly checking the age gap between you two.
Okay, well, because I didn't know, because like I didn't know how much older she was, so I didn't know if she was.
I told you at the beginning of the game.
Okay, but
also, why does it matter
me
how
getting
much older
distracted
she
so
is,
many
Ben?
times and forgetting what I'm talking about? You have to assume that I just forget a lot of stuff. My notes are non-existent because I don't have a notebook. But I'm just saying.
Wait, does Ben not have to submit session notes, Riley?
I told him he had to, but that's not happening. We're just gonna keep moving on.
Okay.
So I'm the only one who's typing out very nice outlined notes and sending them to Riley after my sessions.
And by proxy, your sessions will go a lot smoother than Ben's. Ben's story, by comparison, will be trash and will just be a copy of Star Wars.
That is true. So
anyways, let's skip to the end. You are now with your uncle. You want to move out.
I told my Unky Wunky that I am moving out.
All right. I think that recaps pretty much everything. Unless you think there's anything else to add.
Now it's time for episode 5, The Phantom Minute.
What the heck? No.
It's the Grimm Grimace, dude.
No!
And I think that's
Riley,
gonna be
Riley, I need you to change the title.
Oh, bruh. Bro,
A new Grimm.
This
Grimmtum Grimm.
is the official worst intro we've ever had for a session. I will tell you that right now.
It's crazy too because we typed up the script and everything that we're following line for line. So
Yeah.
And
that was a joke.
Hey, all right, and we're beginning.
Daddy, can we start D&D?
Yes, son.
What is going on?
Wait, I'm not 8 years old anymore?
All right. So, as we just recapped, we are back with Ben and his uncle over at the farm, and we also know of his cousin slash maybe sister over at the Egg Chapel. Going back where we just left off, Ben, you had a couple decisions to make about your character as we skip through a little bit of time. I believe your character's about 16, 17, right, when we left off?
Yes, correct. That is correct.
Okay, so could you give me your stats real quick and your pool?
Okay, starting. Oh shoot! Give me 1 second.
Okay.
The pool is out of 45, correct?
Yes.
This is why you write stuff down.
Yeah, it is.
In the meantime, we're gonna hype up the chat. Let's go, chat. How are we doing? What's hype?
Okay, for the pool, it is 36 out of 45.
All right. And what are your stats?
My stats, starting just from strength, working our way down. I've got a 10 in strength, 10 in dex, 9 in const, 8 in intelligence, 9 in wisdom, and 11 in charisma.
Okay, cool. So as we continue, for this next couple months, as you're getting back into the grind of after winter, what are you prioritizing?
What am I prioritizing? So going into the winter or coming out?
Yeah,
of it?
going into winter first.
So going into winter, I am going to honestly still try to end on good terms with my uncle, make some gold so I can afford to move into the city.
Mhm.
And I would also like to, since I heard of some politics going on in the city, I would also like to kind of get well informed of like what's going on and try to find out where an alchemist is. So I know that's a lot, so I'm sorry.
Okay, so what's the number one thing you're prioritizing?
Number one thing. Okay. Number one thing, I kind of want to figure out the politic guy, or no, not the alchemist guy.
Alchemist guy. So you're trying to find an alchemist?
Correct.
Okay, so how are you doing this?
I'm gonna just kind of ask around town after I finish working on the farm. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you make a perception check.
Okay. 18. 17.
17. All right. So as you look around, you notice the main things that you have before with the orchard area where you go for the marketplaces, but you eventually start exploring the rest of the city. I'm gonna make you make a persuasion check as well.
Got it. Ooh, 16.
16. All right. So as you ask around for any alchemist in the area, you realize that a couple of people actually know what you're talking about. They ask why you want to see this alchemist.
All right, I'll do this in character. I mean, is someone specifically asking me, or just a few people asking me?
Well, whoever you ask is going to ask you back, like, why?
I see, okay. Well, I've recently come across a few potions. I believe so. I'm not quite sure what they actually do, and hence why I'm looking for an alchemist.
One of the men answers you and says, well, if you're looking for an alchemist, there's only one in the city.
Would you care to point the way?
Sure. He points over to an area of Nabia that you haven't been before. I'm gonna pull up the map for everyone real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So, over near the Char Ferry, in sort of like the in-between area of Char Ferry and Docksward, there seems to be an alchemist workshop slash actual like shop. And they point you over there, and it seems to be kind of a rundown building with some smoke billowing out of the chimney.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna walk in.
All right. So as you walk in, you see a couple things. One, you see a fire raging over on one of the tables, where two humanoid creatures quickly put towels over the fire.
Your mic is messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
All good. I heard smoke coming out of the chimney.
Okay. Sorry, is it all good now?
All good now.
Okay, I might have to restart my camera. Sorry about this. All right, and we should be good. Sorry about that. You see a massive fire raging from one of the wooden tables, and two humanoid creatures take towels and start putting it out. Eventually, you see a small gnome-like creature with spindly, wiry hair coming out the side of his head, with kind of a bald spot in the middle, scolding what seems to be like a tiefling.
You the alchemist I've heard so much about.
He looks over at you and says, "Begone with you!"
Oh, I'm simply just here. I have a request.
He ignores you and continues scolding the tiefling, and you see him pointing and shouting at him for what seems to be like starting this fire that you see before you. Eventually, it gets put out from the towels, and eventually the tiefling turns towards you and sort of nods towards the gnome.
I will approach him.
All right, and as you do, he says, "What do you want?"
I have, as I said before previously, and I kind of pull out these potions.
He says, "Give them to me."
Oh no! Please! I'm asking what these are. Maybe
Give them to me.
All right.
All right, and as he grabs the bottles, he sort of shakes them in his hand, watches them sizzle on the inside, and he unscrews one of them and sniffs it, puts it back, and gives it back to you and says, "Yes, I've made one."
Okay, what are they?
They're potions, of course. Have you never seen one before?
Have I? Out of character.
No, you've never.
No, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't.
He turns sort of over to the tiefling and says, "I don't have time for this. Go help this young man." And he turns over and starts doing his work again. The tiefling sort of shyly approaches you and says, well, sorry about him, sorry.
All good. Busy man, I presume.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Anyways, I mean, I'm hoping you can help me with this.
Oh yeah, sure. What are you wanting?
I simply just want to know what these are.
He looks over at the potions and says, well, I believe those are medicine potions.
Medicine, so for like healing a cut?
Yes, they can be used that way, or drank, if you have any ailments.
I see. Is it safe to drink by itself?
Yes, of course.
Well, may I ask your boss something?
Well, he is a busy man, so, can you just ask me?
How many of these do you often make?
Well, how many the church needs.
I see. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is all I need. I appreciate the help. Thank you so much. Tell your boss I'm sorry for interrupting/intruding.
Oh, don't worry about it. He'll probably forget it in 5 minutes.
All right. Well, thank you all so very much.
Yes, of course. And
I'll just
Yeah, he goes back to his work. And do you wish to leave?
Yeah.
Okay. You leave the alchemist workshop, and what do you wish to do now?
I will like to. So, what seems like of me being in the little city? What seems to be like the busier parts of the city?
The busier parts of the city during wintertime is definitely the merchants like marketplace, where you usually sell your harvests. This is where like people buy everyday food items and a couple other things. You also know that a couple of different shops might be full at this point. Ones that you've seen in passing, like a mason shop, or even the alchemy shop, obviously, that we just saw. There is also like a general wares store.
I see. All right. I would like to kind of go around town asking about different job opportunities.
Okay. Who are you asking? Just everyday people?
Yeah, just some everyday people.
All right, persuasion check.
12.
12. You do not seem to get much answers, as they are not really willing to tell you about like job offerings around the place.
Fair. I guess we'll just ask some of the merchants who they often sell to.
All right. So you walk up to one of the merchants, and he leans over the counter and says, "What can I do for you?"
I've got a bit of a question for you. I'm a young man currently trying to leave my previous job, and I'm just wondering if you are you familiar with any lines of work, any job openings of such?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're looking for a merchant's job, there are a bunch over here. We always are looking for assistants.
I'm specifically looking for sales, so something I can specialize in to, give us the best profit.
If you're looking for profit, start your own market.
Okay, and I mean, what would you recommend me selling?
Well, that would be competition for me, so I'm not helping you.
I see, but come on. I'm starting out. I certainly can't reach your level as of right now. So what is it?
Well, you know what? I might be able to help you out. And he takes you into his little shop, and he tells you, well, one thing that we're always running dry on during the winter season is food, because we only have a certain stockpile of it. And that's only if merchants can buy the food. If they get outsold or outcompeted, then they really don't have anything to sell for the wintertime.
I see. So more like crops, berries, wheat, and such.
Yes, but I mean, you're not going to get that during winter, are you?
Yeah, that is true.
Well, there's another food source in this place. One that is much less popular, but still bears fruitful sometimes. Depends on how good you are. You see over at the docks ward, there's some fishermen there. Even a couple boats.
I see. Well, thank you. I'm gonna check that out.
Yes, and if you do become a fisherman or decide to get any supplies like that, come to me and I might be able to hook you up with the deal.
Absolutely. I'll keep you in mind. Your name?
My name is... let me pull it up. My name is Damien.
Well, thank you for your help, Damien. I will be sure to keep you in mind.
All right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of with the what time would it be in this day?
Early evening.
Okay, I'd like to try to figure out about some the political system going on here, who's running certain ideologies of the runner or the campaignees.
All right. So eventually you ask around, and I'm not even going to make you roll for this since this is common knowledge that you just don't know about. You ask around, and many of the satyrs look at you in puzzlement for a moment, and then look up and down at you and say, well, if you're new to this place, I understand if this is a concern for you. He tells you that we live in a democracy where people vote on presidents.
I see. Well, I mean, who's currently elected?
Well, that's our current president, and his name is... Tesar.
Tesar?
Tesar.
Peesar.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm assuming he's stepping down because I've heard some talks of some people running.
Well, that's not until the springtime.
I know nothing about politics. You'd have to forgive me. I'm sorry about that. So what do I know about like these ideologies though of these people that are like, what does he stand for type thing? You know what I mean?
Are you just asking that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll just do that in character.
From people telling you around asking about the different political sides, is that whoever can bring the most peace and prosperity and like the healthiest like survival rates always gets the next election. If people start dying or there's a famine, the president usually goes out.
I see. Well, are there currently people that are have been rumored to run?
He looks at you and kind of says, well, we don't really care about that until election days.
I see. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
He says, you're welcome, and goes back to what he was doing.
Yeah. All right. I will also, with the remainder of my time in the town, I will like to explore different areas for sale. Like, maybe homes, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna make you make a perception check.
9.
9. As you look around, you try to ask here and there if there's any unoccupied like houses, and you're basically told that if you can't even afford to buy a house, usually there are people in line to like get some. They're very sought after here. If you're looking for more dingy like minimalist houses, then that's gonna be down south.
I see. Dingy houses. Would I know how much those go for?
Let me look that up. To put down like a lease for a house, it's about 5,000 GP.
5,000 GP.
Yeah.
Will that be me being the owner, or?
There's gotta be a rent, but it's pretty minimal.
So would I be able to rent out that house?
Well,
theoretically, if I were to purchase the house, could I rent it out?
Theoretically, yeah. There's no laws against it.
Okay. 5,000. All right. Thank you. And I will just go back to the farm and just grind on some work.
Well, there isn't much to do since it's wintertime.
Oh yeah, that is true. I'm just a lame-o. I'm gonna go back to my house though either way and see if my uncle is doing all right. Is he upset with me at all?
All right. So you start heading back, and you see something peculiar on your way back. 1 second. All right. As you head out, you do notice the snow is falling, and the wind is blowing a little stronger than usual, and you can definitely tell you're getting to the thick of winter. So eventually you start walking towards your farmhouse, and you notice there is a person on a horse and a purple cloak covering his face, riding towards your house.
I'm gonna kind of just drop, how close am I to the house?
Seems to be you're about 500 feet away.
Get up closer, but I don't want to be seen by anything, so I might hide in the grass or something like that.
You're on the road right now, so do you wish to get off the road?
Yeah, I would like to get off the road.
All right, I'm gonna make you make a stealth check.
All right. 13.
All right. So as you get off the road, you try to hide yourself mostly. Out in this part of the road, no one really seems to use it other than you and your uncle. So it's very peculiar why this man on the horse would be approaching. Eventually, he gets a little closer. What do you wish to do?
I'm gonna also just kind of armor crawl towards him.
All right. So eventually, he gets to your house, and how far away are you at this point?
I would like to be able to still see what's going on, but keeping myself like pretty safe distance away. So,
all right. So at this point, he gets off his horse, and he seems to be about average height. And he gets the reins and ties it on one of the posts next to your house. He approaches the door and knocks. Is there anything you want to do?
I'll wait for the door to open.
All right.
If he goes in.
You can see from the other side, the door slowly opens. And you can't really see what's happening, but after like a minute or two, the cloaked figure finally walks in and the door is closed.
I'm going to get up and then walk towards the house.
All right. So what are you doing when you get to the house?
Is there any windows I can peek in?
Yes, there is.
Alrighty.
There's a side window.
Yeah, I would like to peek in, and I'd like to see what's going on.
All right, make a stealth check.
13.
13. As you go over to the window, you sidle up the sidelines and eventually use one eye to peek over through the glass, kind of broken and dingied from years of wear and tear. What you can see on the inside is you cannot see your uncle, but the figure is sitting in one of the chairs. He seems to be smoking a pipe. You can't see his face because it is covered by the cloak.
All right, I'm just going to walk into the house then.
All right. As you walk into the house, you hear shuffling from the inside. When you walk in, you still see the figure sitting where he was, and you hear your uncle in the back where the kitchen is.
Hello?
The figure turns around and takes the pipe out of his mouth and blows a smoke ring and says, "Hello, who are you?"
I'm Grimm, and you?
What is your first name?
I just go by Grimm.
I see. Well, me and your uncle were just going to have a chat.
Okay. Everything okay, Uncle Grimm?
He says, oh, yes, everything's fine. If you want to have a seat with our friend here, go ahead.
Got it. All right, sure. I'll go and pull up a chair.
All right.
Or take a seat.
And as you do, he brings the pipe back up to his mouth. And after a couple inhales, he looks over at you and says, "So, how long have you been here with your uncle?"
As long as I remember.
I see. Well, me and your uncle go way, way back.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
He gives a little chuckle and says, "Well, that is dependent on you, I'm afraid."
I guess.
Eventually, your uncle walks back out with a plate and a pan. He seems to be making some sort of bread in the oven, and eventually sits it down with some plates for you and the stranger.
Am I able to tell at all if like my uncle's hands are shaking at all, like if he's nervous or?
You can make an insight, although it'd be kind of hard.
Yeah. It's a 2.
Yeah, no, you cannot tell.
Okay. All right. Why do I have a feeling you're here not just to talk to my uncle? We don't really get visitors.
You're quite a perceptive young lad. And he turns towards you and eventually takes down his cloak very slowly. On the inside, you see a very old man with pointy ears. He seems to be he seems to have long, slick back hair going down to his shoulders. He says to you, "I'm glad that we finally get to meet."
And I still haven't gotten your name.
Give me a second. My name is Morian.
Morian?
Yes.
Okay.
Morian Atutumalov.
I'm just gonna call you Morian.
Does this name mean anything to you? As he leans in with his pipe.
No. Not at all. Does my name mean anything to you?
Well, that is your last name, and so is your uncle's last name. It is a name that is fought through generations of turmoil.
That's how last names work. They typically are shared by many a people.
But not like yours, though. He turns towards Uncle Grimm and says, "How much have you told the boy?" And he turns towards you and says, "Well, I told him as much as I could." And he sits down next to you all, and the person with pointy ears grabs one of the bread things and takes a bite out of it.
So what are we keeping from me? What can't I know about?
Once you ask the right questions, the truth will be told. And he looks over at Grimm and says, "I can't believe you didn't tell him." And Grimm looks over at him and says, "I didn't think he was ready. I didn't, with his father." And the person looks over at you and says, "Look at me, son. Do you recognize me?"
Do I?
I'm gonna make you make a religion check.
Shoot. 11.
He looks vaguely familiar, but you have no idea.
No, not really. I mean, you have a familiar face, but nothing I don't think I've seen you before.
Here, give me your hand.
I prefer not to.
Trust me. And your uncle turns towards you and says, "You better do what he says."
Or what?
He looks at you and says, "Don't you want to know the truth about your family?"
I thought you told me the truth.
Uncle Grimm looks at you with kind of a saddened expression and says, "Listen, to be honest, I didn't even know myself until recently. I knew your parents died, and I knew that we were blessed. That's all. That was all." And the person looks over at you and says, "What your uncle told you was the truth, but there's much more. You're connected to something much more powerful."
Okay. Well, I pull back the sleeve of my left arm and I kind of give it to him.
All right. As he does, he closes his eyes and he puts his hand on your wrist and he says, "Try to remember past your life."
Out of character, I am trying to remember past my life.
Make a religion check.
Wait, you're trying to remember out of character?
Well, okay, no, in character, yes. This is a 15.
A 15. As you close your eyes, eventually something starts coming to you. You remember being a small child and something happening with things around you that you couldn't control. You also remember almost like a council of these creatures, the people with pointy ears. They all sat around, and you see before you a man, almost looks like yourself, kneeling down to them, and them drawing a symbol around him.
What is this?
He takes his hand off, and your memory fades, and he says, "This is the story of your family." And he looks over at you and says, "Have you heard the tale of the elves?"
have I?
You know that there are rumors of people called elves. You have no idea what they are, though.
Not really. No, I've heard of them, but nothing
He
to
took
that extent.
he looks at you and says, "I am an elf, and I was being hunted. My people were, and that's where an alliance came, with us and the humans, to stop the orc barbarians from tearing us apart. You see, us elves have a very strong connection with the Fae, and the magic within it. Some people don't take too kindly to this, and wish to take it for themselves, for their own manners. That's where the orc tribes rose up and tried to take it from us. In order to protect what we knew was right and good, we had help from the humans. Eventually, through the years, we realized that less and less humans wanted to help with us, because the magic was slowly fading from their lives as well. Until one day, during the reset, and he looks at you, and you know what it is. It's your basically time-telling thing. That was when it all switched over to the current time-telling system. He says, when the humans could no longer have any touch with magic, they lost hope and abandoned us. But your family, the Grimms, they stood by our side, along with a couple others. Eventually, we had to flee. We migrated to a secret area, and a couple of us were left on this continent. And he looks at you and says, over the years, the orcs came after us, along with other evil creatures. And he says they eventually almost wiped us out, until the Grimm family was the only one left. And they hid us away from all the evil creatures, in the forests, in the mountains, in the jungles, wherever they could find. But they were bound to us for life, and the afterlife. He looks over at you and says, does any of this make any sense to you?
Sort of. But what happened to my parents?
Well, many, many, many years ago, hundreds of years ago, we realized the only reason why we had any life left was because of the Grimms. And they say to you, he says to you, that's when we made the pact with them. As long as they protected us, we would bless them with healthy farm and something more. We allowed them some sort of connection to the Fae, ones that the humans no longer had. And he says to you, the early days of the Grimms all knew of this connection, but eventually the knowledge died out because they lost connections. But it still resides in your bloodline. He says, you have something in you that neither your parents nor your uncle knew about, but you're one of the last Grimms left, and I thought I would tell you. Also, I was friends with your parents. They led the charge against our last defense. There are no more elves out here that the Grimms are protecting. They died. Luckily, you, your cousin, and your uncle escaped with your lives, and that is fine. And we accept you wanting to preserve your bloodline. And he says, your parents, on the other hand, stayed and fought with us. They died valiantly, but I knew that I had to do something. I thought I would come to you, their only son. And he looks at you with sort of saddened eyes, even though they look so wise and old that they've seen so many lifetimes that you're not really sure if death even phases him anymore. He looks at you and says, well, that's why I wanted to tell you the truth. You have something inside you. Something you can choose to ignore or accept. That is up to you.
If it's to further pursue what my parents were fighting for, I will 100% accept it.
Well, you're in a peculiar situation because the elves have all but left, and, well, the orcs and the evil creatures don't really know of your existence. Your uncle has hidden you away. And he looks at you and says, what you do with this power is up to you. You can further your bloodline and continue with the Fae, or you can turn your powers for evil and selfishness. That is up to you. Your parents made a sacrifice for you. A sacrifice that I hope you understand. And he brings up a satchel from the side of him. It seems to be an old leather backpack. And he takes it off and gives it to you. And he says, "This was your parents." He says, "I thought they'd want you to have it. On the inside, you will find a sword that used to belong to your father, and also a pen that used to belong to your mother. Both were used in great detail and usefulness to us elves. Your mother, she was the only human that I actually knew who could speak the ways of the elves, and even write it down. She used that pen for many of her oratories, and your father slayed many orcs and evil creatures with that sword. I hope you use it well." And he finishes his bread and smokes on his pipe one last time and stands up. And he starts going towards the door.
I must ask before you go. What exactly killed my parents?
He looks at you and says, "Even I don't know. I was there at the battle. It was all so confusing. We weren't sure who was attacking us. We believed it to be orcs because they were our greatest enemy, but as of recent, they have been dying down and they weren't attacking. We're not sure what it was, but we believe it to be a great evil, one that we hadn't encountered before. That's why so many perished."
Well, whenever I meet the fiend, the devil that caused my parents to die, consider them dead.
He says, "Well, if that's what you wish." And before he turns and heads out, he says, "Your bloodline has much power. The way you discover it is up to you." He also says one final thing before he leaves.
Which is?
Give me a second. I need to read something. He says, "I will leave you with this." And he looks down for a moment as he puts his cloak back up and his pipe back in his mouth. He says, "To find this power, you have options. You can either look within yourself, look within your past, or look within others. I'm so sorry, Grimm." And he turns and leaves and closes the door. Outside with the window, you can see he gets on his steed and slowly trots off into what you think is the east.
I turn to my uncle. "So is this just meant to be kept a secret till what? Till I'm 50, in a retirement home, married, 3 kids?"
Look, like you said, I didn't know of the power. I knew there was something there, but I didn't want you to go looking and get yourself killed, just like your father did.
Well, instead you got my parents killed. You could have helped and saved them.
But I chose to save you.
But you hid me away in this farm to do your dirty work that I don't even care about it anymore. I've told you, I just want to leave this place.
He sits down with a sad expression, and he looks at you and says, "Pack your things. You may leave."
I still love you, but I just head upstairs to pack my things.
All right. So you grab your things. Do you wish to leave the house?
I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna say one last thing before I leave. I'm sorry if I'm upsetting you in any way, but you have to assume, or you have to know, that I feel very betrayed right now.
He does not
See
look
you
up.
later. I'll see you later, Uncle Grimm.
All right. So, do you wish to head out?
Do I wish to what?
Head out.
Yes.
All right. So you're outside. It seems to be getting nighttime.
I will start walking towards the town.
All right. So you walk towards the town and eventually you get inside. Seems to be the town that you know, but the marketplace is shut down for the night, and everyone seems to be going to their homes.
I will go. Is there a tavern?
A tavern? Yes, there is. You know of a couple taverns, actually.
/inn.
Yes, taverns and inns are kind of the same in this area. People can stay in the taverns in the upstairs area. Give me a second. You know of a couple inns. There's one called the Curate and the Hunter, the Star and Captain, the Fancy Mountain. Any of those sound good to you?
And like any of them, I would know would be like the cheapest.
The cheapest, you know, they have similar prices, but it's probably the Curate and Hunter.
All right. Yeah, I'll go to the Hunter.
All right. So you eventually walk in, and it says the Curate and Hunter at its sign, and you see not many people are around. Some satyrs seem to be drinking to their heart's content over in the corners, sort of playing a game with each other. And you also see a sort of a human-looking figure leaning over the counter. He seems to be pretty young.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hello.
I hate to do this to you at such late night, but is there any chance I could get a room?
Well, we do have some extra rooms. I could hook you up with one.
How much are we talking?
For the night, 2 gold.
Let's see. And I kind of lower my voice to him. I wouldn't do this. I really wouldn't. But I was just kicked out of my own home. Nothing legal. Just they don't want me to live the way I'm living right now. I just need a place to stay for the night.
Make a persuasion check.
$11.
He looks at you and says, I'm sorry, but I don't run the place. I can't really give you a discount if that's what you're asking.
Where's the boss?
He goes to the back and goes and gets someone much older looking with spectacles. And he looks over the counter and says, "What can I do you for?"
Well, as I was just telling your assistant, after sort of a grim evening I've had, I've been kicked out of my home. I'm just requesting a room for free for the night. I promise you, it will just be for the one night.
Make a persuasion check.
21.
21. He looks over at you and says, "The best I can do for you, if you pay me double next."
How about this? I owe you nothing for this night. And the rest of the night I'll show up to work, let's say 8 in the morning.
Make a persuasion check.
17.
He asks you, "Well, what can you do? I'm not really hiring."
Well, the fact that you're carrying on a conversation with me has to mean that I'm some sort of salesman, keeping you on this pitch I'm having. I'm sure I could sell how much booze you have here. I can drain these people's pockets for you easy.
He looks at you and says, "You know nothing of our inn. How can you sell?"
You don't really need to know much about the merchandise that you're selling. All you gotta have is the good personality and tone, which I have.
"Well, all right. Let's test you out." And he turns towards his assistant and says, "All right, you're the customer. He's the salesman. go. And he looks kind of confused for a moment, and eventually he looks over the counter at you and says, hello, I want one ale.
Ale, are you sure that's would I know the prices off the back of my hand or no?
No, you have no idea. You've never been to a tavern before.
Okay. An ale? Well, I mean, I can of course do you one ale, but I must tell you, one is certainly not enough. Once you taste this fine, exquisite ale, I can get you another one, and another one after that. I have an endless keg in the back, and after that, we can move on to a mead. I'm assuming we've got some mead here as I turn to the boss, kind of asking him a question.
He nods.
I was like, and I'll tell you, our mead is to die for. Trust me on this. I've also got some, do we have any dinner options?
The guy behind the counter slowly slides you a menu.
All right, as I kind of look down, what do I see on that menu?
You see roasted tomatoes, rock leg, and shredded beef.
You seem like a guy that's a shredded beef. You would need that, definitely, and you'll need another ale to wash down the shredded beef. I can assure you, it's all going to taste wonderful, and you go to sleep like a baby.
He looks over at you and says, could I just have one ale? And
right,
the guy behind the counter stops you both and says, okay, you've proven yourself. You know, I'll let you sleep here for tonight, but I'll start paying you pretty low, because I don't know what you're capable of. The more you sell, the more your pay will go up.
Fair enough. Well, thank you, boss. I appreciate it very much. What should I call you besides boss?
He says his name is Eden.
Eden. All right, well, thank you for the opportunity, Eden. What time am I starting?
He says, as soon as you wake up.
All right. Bright and early in the morning, then.
All right, so, do you wish to, he gives you a key to one of the rooms upstairs. Do you wish to go up there?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, actually, no. I'm going to take a menu upstairs, and I'm going to memorize it before I go to sleep.
All right.
That's called being a good employee, guys.
Okay. So, you go upstairs with the menu, you spend a couple minutes studying it, and eventually you get it down because it's a pretty shortened menu. There are only three actual food items, but the ale is in the mead list is a little bit longer, and you eventually fall asleep. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. I'm going to ask you what you prioritize again.
Now what I'm prioritizing is I'm wanting to I'm really just kind of frustrated right now about a lot of things. I'm mainly going to basically my main goal that I know I can't do now is I want to kind of avenge my parents. But for the meantime, I'm gonna try to just save up some money so I can just first of all live.
I will tell you that the cost of living here, because you're not getting any free food or free stay, the cost of living here is going to add up. He's going to put it on your tab, and he's only paying you 5 silver per day.
All right, yeah. I've got a plan for that. I'm gonna go to the Egg Chapel and see if I can stay there for a few nights till I can afford to live. Hopefully my cousin can give me some connections.
So make a persuasion check.
Natural 20, baby. Let's go.
She tells you that someone has recently moved out, so you might be able to take their room for about a week, but when other people come in to train, you're gonna have to get out.
That's all I need.
All right, so you can stay there for free for a week.
Awesome.
Riley, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the person who just recently moved out me and my mother?
No, that would be a little later, but I get
I
what
just
you're
wanted
saying.
to know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to gauge the time frame here.
Yeah, that would be I think 2 years later.
Okay, so we're still there.
Yeah, you guys still are there.
I'll see you around, Grimm.
Also, this is another thing I was gonna try to focus on.
Well,
Just trying
before
to, like,
that,
oh
when we are skipping, I'll tell you how many months that are going by, and your tab is gonna build up. I'm gonna ask you to keep track of that. You think you can handle it?
yeah, let me go pee.
Okay. So, Cameron and Ron, what are you guys thinking so far?
Pretty interesting. I expected when the guy told Ben, "No, I just want one ale," that Ben was going to get rejected for the job, but then apparently he still got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting to see him leaving the farm so soon. I was expecting another year, but this, I'm just, it's interesting to see how he's playing this, and can't wait to
Yeah,
get
it
the
was
boots.
funny because there wasn't an aunt there to tell the uncle that he has too much of his father in him to stay on the farm.
Yeah. So he is in a quite the sticky situation from a financial point right now.
Yeah, this man's gonna seek me out as a loan shark.
Yeah, I mean, he's what, getting 1.5 gold accumulated every week of debt.
Basically.
So,
Hey, I just realized if Ben does run into Ronnie, couldn't they just do a little mini role play session right here since Ronnie's in chat?
I would allow that as long as Ronnie remembers this was you 2 years ago before any of the alchemy stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I'd allow that if they do it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can even like retroactively like subtract the money that I have from the last 2 years. So,
Yeah.
because it was 2 years ago I got my raise, and I have how much money I had before the raise, so
Yeah.
I'd be fine.
So Ben's character doesn't have anything to eat. I mean, the cleric or the chapel will feed him, but after that, he's got nowhere to stay, no place to eat, no money, a debt. So it's quite the sticky situation.
My only request is, if that does happen, don't make it an all session thing. Just let's try to make it like just a conversation or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to necessarily like, because when I was doing my session, like this wasn't a thing, so
Yeah.
it would, you know.
Uh-huh.
Be too influential.
All right,
Back.
Grimm, I gotta inform you, you're in quite the sticky situation.
I'm back. What's up?
You are accumulating. Make sure you keep
Probably
this.
about 1.2 gold per month, I'm assuming, per week.
Well, okay, so write this down somewhere. You need to keep track every week that passes. That's 1.5 gold that you owe to the tavern. Also, after this week, you won't have any place to stay or eat.
Got it. I'm looking forward to getting myself out of this.
Yeah. All right. Well, what would your character like to do? You said you were
I would like-
prioritizing trying to sell, right?
I am, first of all, prioritizing to get as much money as I can. You know, let it be tips, anything like that.
Okay.
And then I would also like to, I know my cousin's at the thing now. I want to tell her like everything that's going on with that I just found out about my parents.
Uh-huh.
And like trying to actually create a good friend group outside that I can definitely ask for money from. But
Well, you
but
do
not-
know some people that you could maybe borrow money from, so just old friends. So when you say you're gonna try to get money, are you trying to say like you want to just do the best at your job, or are you gonna get a second job, or what?
So I'm gonna get or maybe like me working just double shifts at the
Yeah, he'll
tavern.
allow it.
Yeah, so working double shifts and everything, and just like grinding that, like doing really good.
Okay, I will. If you work double shifts, I'll double your money to 1 gold every day.
Yeah.
So that will make every week go by 1 gold that you own rather than 1.5.
There we go.
All right. And so are you trying your... Okay, so you have a couple options here. Are you trying to get the most money out of like selling the most and trying to get a promotion, or are you trying to get entertain the customers most and like trying to get money through tips, or are you doing it some other way?
First of all, I could start a medieval fantasy OnlyFans. Uh,
I won't allow
serious.
that.
Dang it.
Unless
My
you
feet
find
pics.
a brothel. You could get a job at a brothel, though.
Okay. No. I'll probably just I'm just gonna like grind. Like obviously I want to try to do both. You know, like try to get a promotion, but also still be that good.
So you're doing
employee.
50-50.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to make you roll one a performance.
Okay.
This is for seeing how good you are at selling things.
All right. So 16.
16. You seem to be doing exceedingly well with selling things and trying to get your boss to notice. Now we roll another performance for customers.
Let's go. Make a bank with this beat.
All right. So, for the first week, you don't get a raise, but you do make all your debt back in tips. So, you don't owe anything the first week, and you are fed every day, and you have a place to stay. So I'm not minusing anything.
Okay.
All right. So now, your cousin finally has to kick you out because people are moving in, and she asks you if there's anything else she can do for you.
Well, I would just ask, you know. This is out of character. I'm sorry. I should have said that first. I'm gonna probably ask her. Well, actually, no. I'll do this in character. I'm sorry. I'm restarted. Let's see. No, you've done all the help you can. Just, you know, I appreciate you trying to help me get my feet from under me.
Well, do you have a place to stay?
No, but
Well, I mean, there has to be some place. I mean, obviously you don't have any money, so you can't pay for anything, but, you know, I might be able to help you out. So I have a friend. I've been trying to get her to go to the chapel, but it's been no use. You might actually remember her. We were friends back in the day. And, she tells you, give me a second here. Okay, give me a second. I need to look something up. She asks you if you remember Larissa.
of course I remember Larissa. Larissa's one of the boys.
All right.
Yes,
She tells you that her house has been sort of an in and out, people come and go sort of place. She has parties like every night, and she tells you that you might be able to convince her to let you crash on her couch if you bring her ale for her parties.
I bring her ale for the boys. Yeah, I'll definitely ask.
right.
Thank you.
She gives you the address, and she seems to be living near the bridge in the marketplace area. So, do you wish to go there?
Yeah, definitely.
And at this point, it's pretty late out, and you do hear noises coming from the area she pointed on the map.
Sweet, I'm gonna go in.
All right. So the door is wide open, and you see many satyrs, like absolutely wrecking the place, and a couple of tiefling girls, sort of having drinks here and there. And you see the place is an absolute mess. You recognize Larissa in the back corner talking to some other tiefling girls.
I'm gonna approach Larissa.
All right.
Larissa, is that right?
She looks at you and says, "Hello."
You may not remember me. I'm Grimm.
She looks back in her memory for a moment and ponders. And she says,
Ava?
"Oh, yes, you were Ava's brother, right?"
Yes. Yeah, good to see you too.
Yes, what brings you here?
Well, actually, it's quite embarrassing. Could we talk in private for a quick second?
Sure, I don't care. And she walks over in another corner with you where the music isn't as loud from the satyr playing the pan flute.
So quite a party you have going on here.
Yes, of course.
Well, I have a bit of a request.
What might that be?
I'm currently out of a place to live with some family issues. Me and my sister are doing fine. It's just I can't necessarily afford to, live anywhere. I'm willing to like do some work for you if you'd like. Tidy the place up, housemaid it up or whatever.
Oh, don't
If you
worry.
just
I
let me
already have a
crash on the
housemaid.
couch. Well, then would you allow me to crash on your couch at all?
Maybe persuasion check.
14.
She looks at you and says, "I don't care." And she says, "You can do whatever you want. I'll be in my room." And she walks off, and she takes one of the satyr guys with her.
This isn't just a one-time thing. I want to make this clear.
She looks back and says, "What do you mean?"
Like, for maybe a few years? 1 year? Possibly?
She gives you a laugh and says, whispers something in the satyr's ear, and he looks down sort of solemnly, and she starts walking back towards you and says, "This is interesting. What are you asking me?"
I'm asking if we could be roommates for a minute.
She looks at you with a cocked smile, kind of a devilish look in her eyes, and she says, I have a boyfriend."
I'm well aware that you have a boyfriend. It's nothing like that. Nothing will bother me at all.
"Oh, I see." And she brings you over to the corner again, and she says, "Well, I have a couple questions for you."
The questions are?
"Well, I have a problem. I am running out of ale. My parents don't seem to give me the monthly allowance I'm hoping for anymore. And I'm hoping maybe I could get a hookup. Would you happen to be that person?"
Maybe. So, what do you have in mind?
"Well, any kind. Ale, mead, wine.
Got it.
It's just stuff to keep the party fueled."
Would I know, like, her age at all?
You don't really know. She seemed to be about your sister's age. So she might be like 19, 20 at this point.
Pog. Okay, yeah. Got it. Yeah, I can definitely be a hookup for you.
She also looks over at you and says, "Well, if you come by every night and bring some ale with you, then I think we can have our arrangement. As long as you can sleep through this." And she, like, gestures towards the entire party, like being super loud.
Like a baby. I do double shifts at the tavern, so...
Oh, okay, so you do have a job.
Of course.
I see. Well, whatever happened to your uncle?
Maybe when we become better roommates, we can talk about that later.
Yes, that brings me to a point. I've been talking to Ava recently. She keeps trying to bring me to chapel. But I was wondering, do you know about her vows?
Do I?
I'm just gonna make you figure that out. Do you?
The one where she doesn't date no people?
The celebrity vow, yes.
Yeah. She's on that, like, celebrity vow thing.
Yes. I was wondering, do you have the same one?
Me? No.
Oh, just wondering. And yes, you can trash on the couch as long as you'd like, as long as you bring the ale. And as soon as she does, a bunch of the satyr guys bring up their glasses and say, "Yeah!" And she slowly walks back over to the doorway for her room and opens it and walks out.
All right. And I'm just, what time is it now?
It's nighttime. You're getting tired.
I'm going to crash on that couch.
All right. I'm going to make you make a wisdom saving throw.
17.
17. You sleep through the night pretty easy. You get used to the party that's going on, and you use a pillow to cover your ears. The sofa is actually really soft, like it was made out of fine silk.
Let's go.
So it is the next day. Again, I'm probably gonna have to skip through some things, but I'm wondering. Well, I need to know a couple things. I need to know a couple of things.
Okay.
Starting with most important, how are you eating?
I will just be like, so I'm assuming at these parties, what kind of food is gonna be there?
Snacks, like unhealthy snacks.
I can't live off snacks,
Yeah, you can,
but
but there are penalties.
I figured as much. I'm assuming like at the inn while I'm like like what is my actual job?
Your job is being kind of the guy behind the counter, being like, hey, can I get you anything? Or if you see people like taking a table, you go bring menus over to them and start like asking them what they want, and then eventually you give what they want to the people in the back. Obviously Eden, the tavern owner, and there's also another person named Avery who's back there. And then eventually every once in a while, it seems to be he's more of a janitor than anything, but the guy you talk to, his name's Henry.
I see. So I'm assuming like what is the cheapest food item that I can live off of on that menu?
On the menu, let's see. Just a couple copper, actually.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. So, in all, I would say for every day, -1 silver.
Bro, how much am I eating?
You're eating twice a day.
So that takes away one silver.
5 copper for each meal.
Okay, that is not a couple copper.
Sorry. Or you can choose to eat snacks rather than one of your meals, or choose snacks over both of your meals, if you'd rather.
No, I'll do that.
Okay, also make sure you're adding that to your tab of 1 silver each day, along with your 1 gold each day also, so 1.5.
It's one, because double shifts.
The double shifts got you to 1 gold.
Yeah, and then
Thank
your
you.
eating is 1 silver. So I guess 1.1 in that
Yeah,
case.
1.1 a day.
Yeah.
All right, it's not bad. I mean, it sucks, but it's not bad.
Yeah, that's what happens when you move out, bro. You got to
I
do
know.
adult stuff.
That's actually fact. I'm learning that now.
Bro, okay, so we got your eating done. How are you gonna get ale and wine to the
Okay.
parties?
So for the ale, what I'm gonna do is I'll just take like the aged. So this is my thought process. These 19-year-olds are gonna go crazy over like literally anything. So like that has some alcohol in it. So some like aged ale that's like just expired that we're like getting rid of a keg for and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I'm taking that.
Okay. Okay.
So it
Okay.
doesn't cost me anything because we're throwing it out. And since it's a night party with a whole bunch of like 19 and 20-year-olds, bro, they're gonna go crazy over that.
Okay,
stuff.
so question for you. Are you making this known to the tavern keeper that you're taking like the trash ale, or are you just like he's like take it out and then you just take it to your place like in the alleyway?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will say with that strategy, you're gonna have enough to just keep yourself sustained.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have you roll a performance for getting a raise.
14.
14. Overall, with how you're doing with your job, your boss gives you a raise to 1 gold a day.
Wait, he's raised me 1 gold?
To 1 gold a day.
I see. Okay. All
And
right.
I'm also gonna make you roll performance, see how your tips are coming in.
16.
16. These seem to be pretty good. I'm gonna give you 5 silver per day.
Nice.
So that almost takes care of it. You still are accumulating. I think 6
I'm out of
silver.
debt.
Are you sure? I think you're accumulating 6 silver.
Where are you
each
getting the 6 silver from?
from eating, and also it's
Eating
you're
takes
not.
1 silver a day.
Yeah, that's it, I guess. Plus
Yeah.
you owe 2 gold from the first night. Oh no, you got that for free. Never mind.
Yeah.
So you're not really owing anything, I don't
I'm in
think.
profit now, guys. I didn't think I was gonna make it this.
All right, so as long as you keep the tips coming in, and that will depend on your performance, and also keeping your job the way it is also going to take performance. So, do you wish to just continue like this, where you just focus all your stuff on just getting money?
Essentially, I'd also like to just like start making friends, kind of, trying to still stay good terms at the Egg Chapel, because I do kind of owe them for letting
Yeah.
me stay there for a week. So probably
Okay.
tidy up, get to know some of the people there.
Okay. So yeah, I'll allow that. So you eventually get to know a couple more people in the Egg Chapel. You know some cleaners there, and some priests and priestesses, and also more people like your cousin who are training to be that. Do you wish to get any other people through any other means?
And yeah, I get just to know some of the people at the party.
Okay, yeah. Roll persuasion.
15 plus 2. Yeah, 15.
15. All right. So, you fit in pretty well with the crowd there. I mean, they're all very charismatic, and they're all just there to have a good time. So none of them are judging at all, and they get to see you quite regularly. So they recognize you, and they know you as the guy who brings in the ale. So
Yeah.
you are in their good graces for now.
I'd like to. Sorry.
What? Sorry, no. You can go.
I'd like to let them know that let's just keep, like, who brings the L. Like, let no one know this. It's just us.
Make a persuasion check.
Oops. 16.
16.
Bro, I'm getting some fire rolls, dude.
Yeah. So no one else seems to really care whether or not people know where it's coming from, as long as they're getting it. So yeah. Eventually, Larissa gets more comfortable with you being there, and asks if you would like anything to sleep with.
What do I not have?
Well, I mean, you're just on a couch. So do you want some like pillows and blankets or anything?
Yeah, just anything to make it more comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, she goes and fetches it from her room, and she gives it to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. So with that, with you focusing on that as your priority, let us upgrade your stats.
Yes.
Okay. So you have what is your pool again?
36 of 45.
Okay. Sounds good. So what do you have as your strength right now?
My strength
Yeah.
is 10.
10? Yeah, you do not upgrade your strength because you have not been working in the fields like you used to. Dexterity, what is that?
10.
You've been walking back and forth a lot of places, from going to Egg Chapel to your house to the workplace, and also since you're serving people, you need to be pretty dexterous and you have to have good hand-eye coordination. So I'm gonna upgrade that by 2.
All right.
And make sure you keep track of how many times we're upgrading it.
Yes. All right.
All right. So what is your Constitution?
9.
9. So with this, actually, you've been sleeping pretty well, and you have a good place to sleep. You have been eating good. You've been paying for actual meals. You seem to be living a pretty healthy lifestyle, although you might be working a little bit too much. I'm going to upgrade your Constitution by 3.
Nice. All right. All right.
So, next is your intelligence, right?
Yes.
All right.
It's an 8.
Yes, with this, the only thing I will really say is you learning more about the menu and stuff. That's it. So I'm not gonna upgrade it. You're pretty stagnant with your intelligence. You haven't gone to school at all, so. But then your wisdom, going around places, meeting people, and all that, that's going to be upgraded. What's the number right now?
9.
9? That's going to be upgraded by 3.
All right.
Okay, how many times have we upgraded that? 0 times?
4 times. Well, no. So, upgrading it.
You
just
don't
means, like,
count racial bonuses.
Oh. Hold on then.
Wait, no, Ben, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. You count your racial bonuses. They still, like, upgrade your stat. But when I'm saying how many times have we upgraded it, I mean, like, how many times have I upgraded it?
Oh. Twice.
Twice? Okay. But we just upgraded it by 3 times.
So now 4.
But if it was 2 times, so it should be 5 now,
Oh,
right?
I thought you mean like each time that you visited, upgrade it. Okay. There's a reason I have 8 intelligence. Okay, no, it's 4. It's 4.
4.
It was 1
Okay,
the first time.
yeah.
And then
That
just
makes
go
sense.
3.
All right. So, and finally, we have your charisma, which you're using all the time, from being at parties to being with the priestess and selling people and trying to do better at serving people. That's going to be upgraded by 4.
Nice.
So, how many times have we upgraded that?
8.
8 times. Okay, that's going to be costing a little bit more for you.
Dang.
So, give me a second. So, make sure you keep track of this. Okay, from 5 to 6, that's going to cost 2 points. So that's going to be another 2 points off your pool. And then from 6 to 7, that's going to be another 2 points. And then 7 to 8, that's going to be 3 points.
Wow.
So how much
Alright.
left? How much left is in your pool?
21.
21. Got it. All right. What's your stats?
10, 12, 12, 8, 12, 16.
Wow, you have good stats. Congrats. Okay. So with that, I'm also gonna ask you, do you wish to do anything with religious purposes at all?
I mean, as far as like religion goes, I just want to focus on what the elf told me, and I want to like kind of meditate on that.
Okay, so you're meditating then?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say you're meditating on that, anything specific?
Just like I'm really trying to, like, with my father's sword and my mom's pen, I just kind of want to like, cause I'm still kind of like dumbfounded, so, you know.
Okay, so you're using the items to try to channel your past? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Second. All right, so I'm gonna make you make a religion check.
All right. 13.
13. You think back to your past, growing up on the farm, and your parents, and the items that you have been given by this elf. And as you do, for long periods of meditation, you realize that your head starts hurting a little bit more and more and more, and you have to take more breaks. And you start remembering things that were fuzzy to you before, like your early childhood and growing up with your cousin. They become more clear to you, but as they do, you can almost not block out the memories as well, like they are invasive thoughts. So yeah, I'm gonna jump ahead in time a little bit more. What are you wanting to do?
I want to work out some, you know.
So spend less time like trying to get good at your job and stuff.
No, definitely still like I'm talking maybe when I'm at the party. This is gonna sound so dumb, but maybe while I'm at the party, like before I go to sleep, like I'm just like cranking out some push-ups or I'm curling the ale keg or something like that.
Okay, make an athletics check.
11.
11. You try to work out the best you can. I mean, since you live a pretty good lifestyle, it's not like super hard for you. I'm also gonna make you make a performance check.
14.
What?
14.
As you start working out while the party's happening, you see a couple other satyrs try to join in and impress the ladies, and you see that it's become kind of a routine for there to be like what they call muscle shows, where the satyrs all line up and the girls pick who has the best muscles. Would you like to participate?
Why not?
All right. So make a performance check.
16.
16. You give them quite the show. Now let's see what you got. Make an athletics check.
A 10.
A 10. As you try to show off your muscles, they make you take off your shirt, and from under there, they notice that there are a couple flab bits here and there, and they do not like you. They check out the satyr guys with their horns, and they are out competing you in almost every facet. The ladies swoon over them while you sit on the couch and try to go to bed. You see Larissa approaching you and say, "That was quite the show."
That was what?
That was quite the show.
Yes. Good night.
She says, "It's too early for that. You should come."
Come where?
She like nods towards the door, and she says, "Here, let's go take a breath of fresh air."
Who else going?
Just me and you, just for a talk.
Home.
Remember your cousin.
Remember that Larissa is in a committed relationship. Forget about your cousin.
Oh, wait. I should preface with this. She is broken up and had new relationships since then. She's been with about like 4 other guys since this point. You're not sure if she's in a relationship right now or not, but you can certainly ask.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Sure, let's
that
go
changes
outside,
everything.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go for this. Get it, Ben.
Yeah, babe. Larissa.
Do you say that in character?
No, hence why I did the different voice. Yeah, a breath of fresh air would be nice. Sure.
All right. So you guys head out, and she gets a parchment paper and some tobacco, and rolls it up, and she hands you one too.
Sorry, I don't smoke.
She says, "Have you ever tried it?"
No, but I mean, I'm trying to be at, like, as you could tell from the show, I'm trying to be at peak physical performance, and I just don't want anything like that getting in the way.
She looks at your shirtless body and says, "Well, you're gonna have to try a little bit harder than that." And she lights it up with a match and is smoking. And she says to you, "So, what brought you to me? Why didn't you go to anyone else?"
I actually went to my cousin first. I just needed somewhere to stay so I could make money.
Yes, I mean, I can see you've fallen on hard times.
Well, luckily it was cushioned by my flabby flab bits, but...
She gives you a laugh and says, "You know, I'm very flattered you came to me. I remember back when we were all just siblings and I met you for the first time. You were quite the interesting young boy."
The past is certainly something to dwell on, isn't it? Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Sorry, okay, I think it's better now.
Yeah, the past is certainly something to dwell on, isn't it?
She says, "Yes. You know, I have been noticing you going out, sneaking out, meditating. What's that all about?"
Some stuff to do with my uncle. If you
Oh,
keep on
is he
asking me, I'm
making...
gonna start smoking.
Well, let's hope so. She looks at you and says, so your uncle is trying to make you religious?
I'll take that smoke now.
All right. She rolls another one up and lights it for you. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Hope that scorpion comes in clutch.
It's a 12.
A 12. You cough a little bit because it's your first time, but other than that, you're fine. She doesn't really notice. So she asks you that.
Well, not really. You see, I'm actually adopted. I'm not sure if you know this.
Well, yes,
or not.
obviously.
Yeah, shocker. But, my uncle told me something different with my parents, and recently someone showed up and kind of told me otherwise. Brought me some things that belong to my parents, and I got kind of frustrated at my uncle from keeping this from me. He's kept a lot of things from me. I think I'm doing fine on my own now. I've got a job, friends here. I literally party every day because I have no choice. But,
Yeah, you kind of lucked out.
if that's the word for it.
I'd say you did.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've just been trying to think on what else. I don't know. I've been thinking on what's been happening, but I think I need to start thinking on what's going to happen and what I should do.
Well, I mean, you have all the time in the world. I mean, as long as you're not in debt and you have somewhere to sleep, I'd say you could maybe even settle down like this.
But is this what I actually want to do?
Well, who knows? And she says to you, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, the answer is I don't want to keep on doing this. Though this is nice. I'm enjoying this. How old am I?
You're about 18.
I'm a young adult. I've got life ahead of me. And I told this guy I'm going to kill whoever killed my parents, you know.
Well, that's dark.
But I stand by it. And I'm sorry if that freaks you out, but, you know. Oh, well, maybe it's just the smoke talking, but...
You know, all this talk about killing and avenging parents, you know, it's kind of hot.
Yeah?
She smiles and nods.
Huh. Well, it's not what I was going for.
Well, I can tell that. Plus, I have a question for you. It's kind of a weird question. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
She looks over at the sky and gives herself a smile as she sighs, like she's trying to meander a little bit before asking. And she says, you know, back in the day when we were all just kids, between us girls, we always had this sort of thing that we would say to each other. You know, we always thought it was a little weird how you acted towards your cousin.
Oh, shoot.
And she, like, asks you, so, is there anything there?
Between me and my cousin?
Yeah.
She's simply my sister. I love her, yes, but... I mean, that's it.
She gives you a wide-eyed, like, kind of stare and says, all right, if you say so. It was just gossip back then.
No, me and my cousin were just good friends, brother and sister.
If that's what you call it, then sure.
I'm definitely not dating my cousin, if that's what you think.
And she turns towards you and says, well, nice chat, but it's time for me to head to bed.
Alrighty. I guess I'll hit the couch as well.
She gives you a wink and says, yeah, I don't really do that sort of thing with family friends. And she heads into her room and closes the door.
I kind of say out loud, I don't think that went out the way I thought it was going to go out.
One of the satyrs meanders over to you and nudges you and says, bro, nice.
What exactly is so nice about it?
He gives you a nod with a large grin on his face.
How many cups of ale have you had?
He looks down and says, "Not enough, man."
Go take another one till you pass out.
He
And then I go to my couch.
All right, he walks over and like talks with his friends. All right, so with that, you guys want to take a break real quick?
Sure.
Are you guys okay with that?
Ronnie said his headphones died, by the way.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, well, we will be right back with the Grimm Tales of Grimm Chapter 2. Thank you all for staying tuned with us, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back.
Hello.
Well, Cameron, do you want to let the audience know what you told Ben during our break?
I feel like it should come out in his play style. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, that's smart.
Okay.
I like that a lot.
Well, all right. So, over these next couple months, what do you prioritize?
Well, continuously working, like, getting that moolah, trying to get that raise and stuff like that.
So that's your number one priority?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just roll for that right now. Roll
Okay.
performance for job raises.
Natural freaking 20. That's Jesus.
Okay. He's now paying you 2 gold a day.
Okay.
All right. Roll for tips.
15.
15. All right. So you're getting tipped about 5 silver a day.
So I'm making 3 GP a day. Wait, do I add the 5 silver onto the last one, or is that just?
No, you should be making 2.5
Okay.
gold.
I see. All right. Got it.
So by the way, since our last time, I'd say about 3 months passed. So add however much money you would have gotten.
How many days am I working?
Well, you're working double shifts every day, so
We're literally just working 7 days a week.
yes, you are.
Dude.
You
let's go.
that's what you said you wanted to